Hello and welcome to this video on Amazon Simple Email Service or SES. In this video, you will set up SES to handle email communications for your serverless contact form solution. By the end of this video, you will have a fully configured Amazon SES setup that enables your serverless backend to automatically send emails to anyone who fills out your contact form and notify you, the website owner, about new submissions. In this video, you will cover the following objectives. Understand the role of Amazon SES in serverless contact forms. Identify benefits for serverless architectures. Explain sandbox mode and its development implications. Implement email address verification. Set up domain verification and request production access to move beyond sandbox limitations. Amazon Simple Email Service is a versatile, cloud-based email platform designed to simplify email communications for businesses and developers. It provides a cost-effective solution for sending and receiving emails using custom email addresses and domains without the need to manage personal email servers. Simple Email Service can handle different types of emails such as marketing, transactional, and informational emails. In addition to sending emails, it can also receive and process incoming emails and help build advanced email systems so developers can use the service to create complex email-based applications. In the context of a serverless contact form solution, often referred to as a handler, Simple Email Service serves two primary purposes. When a visitor submits the contact form, Simple Email Service can send an automatic confirmation email to the visitor. For example, if John Doe fills out the form on a website, he would immediately receive an email stating, "Thank you for your message, John. We've received your message and will respond soon." In addition, each confirmation email can be enhanced with a unique AI-generated inspirational quote facilitated by Amazon Bedrock. Simple Email Service can also send automated emails to website owners for each new form submission, including the submitter's details and form content. Simple Email Service offers several advantages when used with serverless architectures, especially for contact form implementations. While creating an email system for a contact form may seem straightforward, it can become complex and costly as a website grows. Traditional email systems often require setting up and managing email servers, configuring networks to ensure reliable email delivery, and maintaining a good IP address reputation to avoid being marked as spam. Third-party email services may present alternatives, but often involve contract negotiations, pricing complexities, and significant upfront costs. Simple Email Service removes these challenges by leveraging Amazon's experience in handling large-scale email operations. For a contact form implementation, this means email server management is handled entirely by Amazon. Emails are sent through Amazon's reliable network infrastructure, and users benefit from Amazon's established sender reputation. A key advantage of Simple Email Service is its scalability. Wherever a website receives 10 form submissions a day, or 10,000, Simple Email Service can handle the load without additional setup. This scalability aligns well with serverless architecture principles, allowing developers to focus on building features rather than managing infrastructure. When an account starts using Simple Email Service, it is placed in sandbox mode, a default security measure implemented by AWS. In sandbox mode, there are two key restrictions. Emails can be sent from any verified email address or domain, and emails can only be sent to verified email addresses or domains. These limitations have significant implications for a serverless contact form solution, particularly when sending confirmation emails to users who submit the form. To overcome these sandbox restrictions, Simple Email Service provides two primary methods for verifying the ability to send emails. They are verifying individual email identities and verifying an entire domain. Verifying an individual email identity is straightforward. Enter the email address in the Simple Email Service console. Amazon sends a verification email and click the verification link to complete the verification. While quick and easy, this method has significant limitations, especially for a contact form scenario. Here's the problem. In sandbox mode, emails can only be sent to verified addresses, which means confirmation emails cannot be sent to form submitters unless their email addresses are pre-verified, which is impractical for a public-facing contact form. Using multiple sender addresses requires verifying each one separately. This process becomes tedious as needs expand. The alternative is verifying an entire domain, which is more scalable for growing solutions and presents a more professional appearance with consistent domain emails. However, there is a trade-off in that verifying a domain requires access to domain DNS settings and involves a slightly more complex initial setup. But if the domain is managed by Amazon Route 53, the process is simpler as AWS can automate the DNS configuration. Once a domain is verified, emails can be sent from any address within that domain, like contact@example.com or support@example.com. This flexibility makes domain verification a valuable feature for contact form handlers, as it allows for scalable and professional email communications using various addresses within the domain, and the ability to send confirmation emails to site visitors without additional verification steps. Testing in sandbox mode quickly reveals the limitations discussed earlier. These constraints prevent full functionality of a public-facing contact form, necessitating a move beyond sandbox mode for a production environment. This transition involves a two-step process: verify domain ownership and submit a request to AWS to move out of the sandbox. Once approved, you'll be able to send confirmation emails to any form submission, use multiple email addresses within your domain without individual verifications, and operate your contact form without sandbox limitations. Next, we will create and verify an individual email identity, set up domain verification, and move out of the sandbox into production. Let's begin. Let's start by verifying an email address with Simple Email Service. Before beginning, it's important to note that Simple Email Service is region-specific. Select the AWS region where you want to use it. Now go to the Simple Email Service console and under Identities, click Create Identity. For identity type, select Email Address, enter your email address and click Create Identity. Now check your email inbox for a verification message from AWS and click the link provided. Once confirmed, you will see a message indicating successful verification of the email address. However, it's important to note that you're still in a sandbox environment. Now let's verify domain ownership to overcome sandbox limitations. In the Simple Email Service console's left navigation pane, click Get Set Up. Here, you will see your current status and sending limits. Click Completed Tasks to see your verified email address. Now, let's verify your sending domain. Click Create Identity. For identity type, select domain and enter your domain name. You'll see information about domain keys, identified mail verification, or DKIM. DKIM is an email authentication method that Simple Email Service uses to verify domain ownership and that receiving mail servers use to validate email authenticity. Next, you will see an Assign a Default Configuration Set checkbox. Configuration sets in Simple Email Service apply specific rules or settings to your email sending. Leave this unchecked if you're starting and haven't created configuration sets. You can always create and assign a configuration set later as your email sending needs grow. Now check the box to use a custom mail from domain. This allows you to use your domain for the technical parts of email sending instead of Amazon's default Amazon SES.com subdomain, which makes your emails look more professional and improves deliverability. For the mail from domain, enter a subdomain of your main domain, such as mail.digitalden.cloud or ses.digitalden.cloud. You can use any subdomains even if it doesn't exist yet. Simple Email Service will provide the necessary DNS records. Using a subdomain helps separate your email sending from your primary domain, which helps for managing your online reputation. For behavior, on MX failure, keep the default option Use default mail from domain, which acts as a backup, ensuring your emails are still sent even if there's a problem with your domain setup. Now, if Route 53 manages your domain, AWS will automatically add the necessary DKIM and mail from DNS records to your Route 53 configuration. These include CNAME records for DKIM and MX and text records for the mail from domain. If your domain isn't on Route 53, you'll need to manually add the records to your DNS configuration. Simple Email Service will provide you with a set of DNS records you must then publish to your domain's DNS server. This can be more time-consuming, so follow AWS's instructions carefully. For detailed steps, refer to the AWS documentation here. Now click Create Identity to complete the process. After this, Simple Email Service will verify your domain, which may take a few minutes. You'll then see that your identity status and DKIM configuration are pending. The page will display CNAME records for DKIM authentication and MX and text records for your custom mail from domain configuration. Within a few minutes, you should receive 2 email confirmations from AWS. One will confirm the successful DKIM setup for your domain, and the other will confirm the successful custom mail from domain setup in your selected AWS region. When you refresh the Identities page, you'll see that everything has been successfully verified. Now let's request production access for Simple Email Service. In the console's left navigation pane, click Get Set Up. Click Completed Tasks to see your verified email address and domain. And then click Request Production Access. For mail type, select Transactional, which is appropriate for our use case, as specific actions such as form submissions trigger transactional emails. Now provide the URL of your website where the contact form will be hosted. And in the use case description field, explain how you plan to use Simple Email Service to send email. Now be clear and specific about your use case. Finally, submit your request. AWS usually processes these requests quickly, though approval may take up to a day. With your Simple Email Server setup complete and your production access request submitted, you're now prepared to transition to sending professional, high-volume transactional emails.